Most people think Dynamics 365 sales is only for leads, pipelines, and opportunities. In the truth, it's a relationship engine with a sales costume. We're going to strip the costume, keep the engine, and run a completely different machine: membership and committee management. I'll show you how organizations repurpose accounts, contacts, and opportunities into organizations, members, and assignments. No custom software. You'll see a simple membership lifecycle in the UI, adjusted forms, and clean relationships. By the end, you'll have a blueprint, data model, lifecycle stages, and a prototype layout you can build immediately. Why this matters: stop rebuilding what you already own. Here's the uncomfortable reality: 90% of teams treat sales as if the word on the app is a legal contract. Leads or bust, pipeline or fail. Meanwhile, they spin up separate spreadsheets, shadow databases, and temporary SharePoint lists to manage memberships, committees, and partner programs. Translation: you're rebuilding what you already own with less security, weaker governance, and no activity history. Dynamics 365. Sales runs on Dataverse. It's not just a database, it's the spine of the platform. Relationships, security, timelines, activities, search, and automation baked in. You don't need a new app for memberships. You need a new mental model. Take the same relational backbone, accounts, contacts, activities, and rename, reshape, and reconnect. You get the good parts for free: Outlook and Teams integration, SharePoint documents, Power Automate, security roles, auditing, and purview governance, living in the same Microsoft 365 neighborhood. Compare that to your clever Excel workbook, where one broken formula atomizes your renewal list. The thing most people miss is cost over time. Building a bespoke membership tool sounds fun until someone discovers the REST API you didn't secure, the plugin that avoids solution packaging, or the JavaScript that breaks every time the form updates. Then updates freeze, bugs multiply, and every change requires a developer seance. Meanwhile, the sales app just works. Activities sync, emails track, timelines summarize, security inherits down hierarchies. Forecasting and analytics can be repurposed. And yes, Copilot can summarize threads so your average user doesn't manually stitch together renewal histories at 5 p.m. on a Friday. The platform advantage isn't just features, it's discipline. With Dynamics, you enforce normalized tables, many-to-many relationships, and business process flows instead of burying rules in code. You gain transparency: who changed what, when, and why. You gain scalability: add a table, add a flow, adjust a form, ship a solution. And you gain resilience. Microsoft updates don't nuke your world because you modeled your world within the product's guardrails. Refusing this is like refusing vaccinations. Yes, you can, and then you'll wonder why your membership system gets sick every quarter. One more reason: governance. Data ownership, row-level security, environment strategies, DLP policies, all already exist in the Power Platform playbook. You want membership renewals routed by region? Use territories and teams. You want compliance-ready document storage? Use SharePoint integration. You want Outlook-side record creation and tracking? Done. You're not sneaking a new tool past security. You're extending tools your tenant already trusts. Stop chasing novelty. Start bending the platform you already pay for. Core scenarios you can run without sales. Let's make this painfully obvious. 3 scenarios. 0 pipelines. Membership management. Rename accounts to organizations and contacts to members. Add a membership table that relates a member to an organization with fields for term start, term end, status, payment plan, and auto-renew. Use roles to capture member type: primary, dependent, student, without duplicating contacts. Timeline gives you renewals, emails, meetings, and notes in one place. A business process flow replaces sales stages with registration, validation, active, renewal, and archive. Power Automate handles renewals. When term end approaches, generate a renewal record, notify the member, update status on payment. SharePoint stores onboarding documents. Outlook tracks correspondence. No opportunities in sight, yet the system hums because you respected the relationship first design. Committee and governance structures. Replace opportunity with assignment or seat. Create a committee table, a position table, and a many-to-many between members and positions with term start, term end, voting rights, and conflict of interest flags. The process flow becomes nominate, vet, approve, appoint, serve, conclude. Activities capture agendas, meetings, and decisions. Use the hierarchy visualization to show committee structures and reporting lines. Teams chat embedded at the record level keeps discussion tied to the appointment. Need term expirations. A simple flow posts reminders 90, 60, 30 days out, updates status, and triggers succession tasks. You get traceability of who served when and why, without inventing a custom UI. Partner or association networks. Treat organizations as partners. Define a partner program table with tiers and benefits. Model participation as the bridge between partner and program, with SLA obligations, competency tags, and review dates. Use sequencing to guide onboarding steps. Submit documents, validate criteria, schedule training, approve listing. Replace forecast views with a partner health dashboard composed from views and Power BI to surface engagement, documentation currency, and benefit usage. Many-to-many relationships handle partner-to-initiative links cleanly. When someone leaves a partner, the member record persists and the participation ends. Data continuity without data duplication. Notice the pattern. You remap nouns, not engines. Activities, timelines, security roles, and integrations remain intact. You swap, qualify, develop, propose, close for life cycles that match reality. Register, validate, active, renew, or nominate, approve, serve. You hide sales-only fields, simplify forms, and expose the fields that matter: term dates, role definitions, program status. Your users see exactly what they need, no more, no less. And yes, I'll show a high-level demo, a contact form labeled member, an account labeled organization, a custom membership record with start and end dates, and a tidy business process flow across the top. You'll see how the timeline already tells the story: emails, calls, meetings without code. Then a quick pass through relationships, committee to position to assignment. It's not flashy, it's correct, which is what you actually need. The takeaway: you can run these scenarios today by bending what's there, not bolting on what isn't. Data model mapping. Turn sales into a membership graph. Here's where you stop thinking CRM list and start thinking graph. You're not tracking deals, you're mapping people, organizations, and the roles between them. It's a network with rules. And yes, the Windows registry of your membership world lives in Dataverse. Start with the nouns. Accounts become organizations. Contacts become members. Do not create member as a duplicate person table unless you enjoy reconciliation headaches. Use contacts, rename the label, and keep the spine intact, so Outlook tracking, Teams chat, and timelines continue working without drama. Now introduce the bridges. The thing most people miss is that memberships are relationships, not attributes. So you don't put is member equal yes on the contact and call it a day. You create a membership table that sits between member and organization. One member can have many memberships over time. One organization can have many members. The membership record carries the lifecycle fields: term start, term end, status, plan, auto-renew, payment method reference, and any pricing abstraction you need. This lets you see history, past terms, lapsed periods, reinstatements, without overwriting reality. Roles deserve their own construct. Don't bake primary versus dependent into membership as a choice and paint yourself into a corner. Model a role table and a member-to-membership role relationship. Why? Because a single member can be a primary for a family membership and also a delegate on a corporate membership. Roles change. The person doesn't. Keep identity stable and let relationships express variability. Now for committees and governance, stop abusing opportunity. Create committee and position tables. Then create an assignment table that bridges member to position with term start, term end, status, voting rights, and conflict of interest flags. That's your seat. If you insist on repurposing opportunity, at least remove revenue fields and rename the stages. But frankly, it's cleaner to model assignment as its own table and keep opportunities for actual selling, if you even need them. Many-to-many is not a sin if you control it. Use participation tables when you need metadata on the relationship. For partner programs, define partner program as a table, then participation as the bridge between organization and program, with tier, benefits, effective dates, SLA obligations, and review dates. That preserves the simple graph. Orgs join programs. Programs grant benefits. Benefits have criteria. All queryable, all auditable documents. Don't sprinkle file fields everywhere. Use SharePoint integration at the record types that own artifacts. Organization for master agreements. Membership for signed forms. Assignment for appointment letters. It keeps compliance sane and your storage bill predictable. Payments and money. Resist the urge to bolt in a custom invoice engine unless your finance team demands it. In many cases, payment intent and payment record tables are enough. Membership points to a payment plan or pricing plan table. A payment schedule table generates upcoming dues with due date, amount, and status. If you must integrate with a gateway, that's where a plugin or Azure function belongs. Until then, Power Automate can move states. When a payment is marked received, set membership status equal active. Keep reference tables small and explicit. Member type, reason codes for archive, eligibility criteria, each as separate tables or global choices. If you jam meaning into free text, you'll enjoy terrible reporting and angry auditors. Security flows from ownership. Members are owned by the team that supports them. Memberships inherit organization ownership by default unless you have regional teams. Then use business units and team ownership. Keep it boring. Boring is secure. Finally, naming. Rename labels in the app, not the underlying schema names, so you don't break solution updates or confuse every admin who comes after you. It's contact under the hood, member in the ribbon. You're not pretending sales doesn't exist. You're bending it to your graph. If you remember nothing else, identity lives in contact. Context lives in the bridges. Model relationships, not checkboxes. Process redesign. From pipeline stages to membership lifecycle, here's where you stop forcing, qualify, develop, propose, close onto a world that does not sell anything. You replace sales drama with membership reality. The life cycle is the spine: registration, validation, active, renewal, archive. It's calm, deterministic, and frankly, healthier for everyone's blood pressure. Registration is intake, no heroics. You capture the minimum viable truth to create the membership record. Which member, which organization, which plan, term start, term end, and a pending status. If you're collecting dues up front, create a payment intent. Validation is where adults enter the chat. Documents exist or they don't. Eligibility rules pass or they don't. Payment clears or it doesn't. This is the gate. It needs explicit steps, not vibes. So replace lead qualification with a business process flow that actually enforces your rules. Stage 1, registration, required fields, member reference, organization reference, plan, term start. Stage 2, validation, required eligibility, X verified, required docs, X received, payment status equals cleared, conflicts equals checked. And yes, you can lock the Move Next button until those are ticked. No JavaScript tantrums, native required steps. Active means service delivery, not victory laps. The record should tell you exactly what the member is entitled to. Benefits, discounts, access, representation. If you have benefits, model a related list, benefit entitlements, so staff can see and update without spelunking through emails. If you need onboarding tasks, sequencing handles, send welcome pack, invite to portal, grant access. Light visible, no mystery. Renewal is a stage, not an afterthought. Put it in the flow so staff see it coming. The trigger is deterministic. Term end, minus X days. The action is mundane automation. Generate a renewal record, create the next payment intent, notify the member, schedule follow-up, and set a renewal due date. If the payment lands, transition back to active, roll term, start, end, and close the renewal thread. If it doesn't, status moves to grace, then lapsed, then archive. No one manually updates dates in a panic 2 weeks after expiry. That's how systems rot. Archive is not a bonfire. It's your institutional memory. Reason code is mandatory. Voluntary cancellation, non-payment, eligibility change, duplicate, deceased. Why? Because leadership will eventually ask, why are we losing members? And you'll either have answers or anecdotes. Choose answers. 2 warnings. First, don't cram everything into one monstrous flow because you're afraid of multiple flows like they're Horcruxes. Keep flows scoped, membership lifecycle, committee appointment lifecycle, partner onboarding lifecycle. Separate flows means separate rules and cleaner reporting. Second, do not turn flows into labyrinths. 5 to 7 stages, clear outcomes, few required steps, and native hooks for Power Automate. You are designing a conveyor belt, not a choose-your-own-adventure novel. A quick demo picture in your head. The ribbon says registration, validation, active, renewal, archive. In validation, the Move Next button is disabled until documents received equals yes and payment status equals cleared. When you click Next, Power Automate creates entitlements, posts a Teams notification in the channel, and sends a welcome email. In Renewal, a countdown appears with renewal due in 29 days, and an Up Next card prompts Send Renewal Reminder. That's process clarity. No code cosplay, just configuration and automation where it belongs. The truth? Once you model this once, it clones beautifully. Committees swap registration for nomination, validation for vetting, active for serving, renewal for reappointment. Same mechanics, new nouns. That's the power of a platformed lifecycle. UI, UX remodeling. Remove noise, surface decisions. Now we make the screens behave like they were built for memberships on purpose. The average user does not want to see estimated revenue, probability, or weighted pipeline, ever. Your job is to remove noise and surface decisions. Start with labels, not schema surgery. Contacts display as member. Accounts display as organization. Opportunities disappear from the sitemap unless you're actually selling. At membership committee position assignment, keep the underlying logical names intact so every integration, view, and admin who joins later recognizes the terrain. You're customizing the signage, not ripping up the roads. Forms next. You don't need 40 fields on one screen just to feel productive. Create a member compact form with identity at the top. Name, email, phone, organization, preferred channel. Put timeline in the center because the story lives there, and related on the right. Memberships, assignments, documents. On membership, the header shows status, term start, term end, and plan. The first tab is lifecycle with the process flow visible. The second tab is financials, payment plan, payment schedule, subgrid, last payment. The third tab is compliance, eligibility, documents, SharePoint, consent. Anything you can't explain to a new user in 20 seconds doesn't belong on page 1. Hide sales-only fields, not with duct tape, with profiles. Use role-based forms. Staff see financials. Volunteers see only lifecycle and timeline. Execs see read-only KPIs. Field-level security is there. Use it for sensitive data. And yes, trim the command bar. If activate means start membership, rename it. If close as one survived your purge, that's on you. Dashboards should answer one question per audience. For membership ops, renewals due 30, 31 to 60, 61 to 90 days. Active count by plan. Lapse this month by reason. For governance, seats expiring by month. Vacant positions by committee. Conflict of interest flags. For partnerships, programs by tier. Documents expiring. Engagement score. Build them from views you actually maintain. If your dashboard depends on a filter someone updates when they remember, it's theater, not telemetry. Views deserve respect. Create my active memberships. Renewals. Due in 30 days. Documents missing. Assignments. Ending in 60 days. Set meaningful default sorting by renewal due date, not created on. Add quick filters users actually use. Status, plan, organization. Remove columns no one reads. And please rename created by to the label your humans understand, like owner. Integrations are UX, not plumbing. Surface teams chat on the record so context stays attached. Enable the Outlook side pane so users can add a member from an email signature and file the message to a membership in one click. Configure SharePoint integration to land documents where compliance expects them. That's user experience, reducing clicks, eliminating context switching, and preventing "I'll file it later" lies. Power Pages or a lightweight model-driven app for external contributors? Fine, just keep it scoped. A member portal should expose profile, memberships, payments, and renewals. A governance portal should expose nominations and disclosures. Do not mirror your back office forms to the outside world. That is how breaches and confusion happen. Finally, test with actual humans. Sit a membership coordinator down. Ask them to renew 5 members, file 2 documents, and update 1 payment while you time it. If they hunt, you failed. If they don't scroll, you nailed it. The metric is task completion, not pixel density. Remove friction, promote decisions. That's the remodel. Short demo walkthrough, high-level visual context. On screen, you'll see 0 code and a very calm sitemap. Members, where contacts used to be. Organizations, where accounts used to be. Memberships, committees, positions, and assignments added. Opportunities hidden because, spoiler alert, we aren't selling anything. Open a member. The header shows email, phone, primary organization. Timeline in the center. Emails, calls, notes, because the story lives there. Right pane shows related. Memberships, assignments, documents. Click a membership. The header has status, term start, term end, and plan. Across the top, the business process flow. Registration, validation, active, renewal, archive. In validation, 2 required steps. Documents received, payment cleared, gate the next button. No JavaScript circus, just native enforcement. Jump to an organization. You'll see its members subgrid, active memberships, and SharePoint documents. Open committees. Each committee has positions. Open a position, then an assignment. The bridge linking member to position with term start, term end, status, voting rights. It's obvious who sits where and when the seat expires. Final glance. A renewals due view sorted by due date, plus a simple dashboard. Active by plan, renewals, 30, 60, 90, lapsed by reason. That's the point. Clean nouns, clear life cycles, relationships doing the heavy lifting. And lessons learned, modeling beats customization. The pattern that saves projects is painfully simple. Model reality, don't cosplay as a developer. Every time teams over-customize, they smuggle business rules into brittle places. Form scripts, rogue plugins, bespoke UI. It works until it doesn't. Then one platform update changes a control, and your JavaScript has a panic attack. A plugin swallows an error and data integrity quietly bleeds out. 2 quarters later, nobody knows why renewals stall on the 29th of every month. Fascinating. The thing most people miss is what the platform already gives you. Relationships, activities, timelines, business process flows, security, SharePoint docs, Outlook tracking, Teams chat. These are not nice-to-haves. They are the system. When you model membership as a bridge between member and organization, the timeline hangs off the membership record naturally. When you model assignment as a bridge between member and position, term history emerges without code. When you put lifecycle checkpoints in the process flow, you stop relying on tribal memory and calendar stickies. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. If a requirement starts with, "We need a button that," ask why the business process can't express it. Buttons are temptations, states are truths. If a rule is deterministic, documents must exist, payment must clear, put it in the validation stage with required steps and a power automate that politely refuses to advance. If the rule is informational, mark as eligible if. Make it a calculated field or a background flow. Either way, keep it declarative, visible, and auditable. If you remember nothing else, identity belongs to contact. Context belongs to the bridges. Model with tables and relationships. Orchestrate with business process flows and power automate. Reserve plugins and JavaScript for the edge cases you can't avoid. Your future admin will thank you, your auditors will nod, and your update windows won't feel like horror films. Governance and scalability, keep it manageable at enterprise scale. Now the adult part, governance. You're not building a toy, you're extending an enterprise platform. Start with environments, dev, test, prod. Solutions for everything. No unmanaged tinkering in production unless you enjoy untraceable change. Use solution layering and proper ALM so every form, view, flow, and table moves together, versioned and reversible. Security isn't a vibe, it's a model. Use business units to reflect geography or function. Keep ownership boring. Organizations owned by regional teams. Memberships inherit organization ownership unless a clear exception exists. Security roles should be simple, named by responsibility. Membership coordinator, governance manager, partner ops, not by obscure permissions. Field-level security for sensitive attributes. Eligibility, disclosures, payment references. Avoid breaking glass with global read because someone got impatient. Data loss prevention is not optional. In the Power Platform admin, define tenant-level DLP policies. Business connectors in one bucket, everything else in another. Keep connectors to email, SharePoint, Teams, Outlook, Azure services in the allowed zone. Quarantine anything that tries to siphon data to unmanaged destinations. Minimize policy overlap. Fragmented rules create troubleshooting nightmares and accidental lockouts. Integration discipline. Use native where possible. SharePoint integration for documents at organizations, memberships, assignments. Outlook and Teams for activities and collaboration. For external payment gateways or identity checks, isolate the complexity. Use Power Automate for the happy path. Escalate to plugins or Azure functions only when determinism, performance, or security truly require it. And yes, log everything important, state changes, approvals, rejections, because tomorrow's question will be who changed what, when, and why. Scalability is about design, not heroics. Avoid wide records with 200 fields that try to be everything. Use related tables for schedules, entitlements, and participation. Don't create Frankenstein flows that branch 16 times. Create small, composable flows with single responsibility. Time zone sanity. Store in UTC, display in local, day-based matching for reminders prevents midnight surprise emails across regions. Monitoring matters. Use standard reports and Power BI on top of views to track throughput, renewals processed per week, average validation time, lapsed by reason, documents missing. Finally, plan for people. Role-based forms, tidy dashboards, and training that matches tasks. Document the data model and life cycles in human language. Governance isn't bureaucracy. It's how you prevent chaos at scale. Entropy is undefeated unless you choose structure. What to avoid? The failure patterns. Now here's where most teams mess up. They try to be clever. They overbuild before they understand requirements, then act surprised when complexity bites back. Don't start with custom code because a stakeholder said we need a button. Start with modeling. If a relationship can be expressed with a table, a bridge, or a process flow, do that. Buttons are vanity, states are truth. Second, duplication. Creating a separate member table because we don't like contacts is how you break Outlook tracking, timelines, and every integration you claim to value. Identity lives in contact. Rename the label and move on. Third, mixing sales and non-sales processes in the same record. If you're running memberships, hide revenue, probability, and close as one. If you must keep opportunities for actual selling, fine, don't pollute them with membership lifecycle fields. Separate tables, separate life cycles. Fourth, custom code as a reflex. Plugins for simple validations, JavaScript for required fields, bespoke forms to look different. Every line of code is future maintenance and an update risk. If Power Automate can do it, let it. If a business process flow can gate it, gate it. Fifth, security as an afterthought. Random owner assignments, everyone as system admin, field-level security ignored. Keep roles simple, ownership predictable, and auditing on. Boring is secure. Finally, forgetting mobile. If your membership coordinator can't renew, capture a signature, or check status on a phone, you built a desk toy, not a system. Test on mobile early, then simplify again. The real value for organizations. Why this works. This works because you're not fighting the platform. You're harnessing it. All people, groups, and processes live in one system. Members, organizations, committees, partners, one identity, many contexts. That means no more triple data entry, no more who has the latest spreadsheet, and no more lost relationship history when staff change. Transparency improves immediately. Timelines show emails, calls, and meetings without begging people to log activity. The business process flow makes state obvious: registration, validation, active renewal, archive. Your team stops guessing and starts executing. Leadership gets answers, not anecdotes. Renewals due, lapsed by reason, seats expiring, documents missing, already on a dashboard built from views you actually maintain. Onboarding gets faster. A new coordinator sits down, sees the life cycle at the top, the timeline in the middle, the related records on the right, and can move work forward without tribal knowledge. Sequencing nudges the next action. Copilot summarizes long threads. You don't need a 2-week training course to send a welcome pack. Communication gets cleaner. Outlook side pane lets staff add a member from a signature and file emails to a membership in one click. Teams chat stays attached to the record, so context travels with the conversation. SharePoint stores documents exactly where compliance expects them, not in random desktop folders titled Final V7. Reporting stops being theater because you modeled relationships, memberships, assignments, participations. Your metrics are real. Power BI overviews delivers live insights, throughput, cycle times, bottlenecks. Governance becomes a feature, not a drag. DLP, auditing, environment ALM, and purview sit underneath your solution because you stayed inside the guardrails. And the system scales. Need a new program? Add a table and a flow. New benefit? Add entitlements. New region? Add a business unit and a role. You're building with Lego, not pouring concrete. That's the point. Extensible now, adaptable later, without rewriting the universe every quarter. Key takeaway: Dynamics 365. Sales isn't just CRM, it's a flexible relationship platform. And with clean modeling plus light automation, it can run memberships, committees, and partner networks without custom code theatrics. If you want my complete starter blueprint, data model, lifecycle flow, and form layouts, watch the next episode in this series. And subscribe now so you don't plan to and forget. Let the next lesson arrive like a scheduled task on time, zero drama.